Hello guys and welcome back to the Force Nines YouTube channel and a Football Manager 2015 video. It's Sunday, means it's a scenario Sundays. I haven't done one of these for a few weeks, mainly because there's been nothing really going on in the world of transfers until this week, that is. Last one I did was Danilo going to Real Madrid, which was a transfer that was organised like a month ago to go through on July 1st. The Porto right back going to Real Madrid. Didn't turn out so well for him. He didn't get a lot of game time. Today's one, the transfer that went through this week, if you haven't seen, and it involves Man United. So this Scenario Sundays experiment is going to revolve around Manchester United. As you can see, we're in June 2015. I've holidayed the first year because I realised that you could set a transfer to go through on the editor to go through in 2015. I didn't do that with Danilo, so in the game he actually joined in 2014, and I've decided to do it differently this time. I've now worked out that you can do that. So I've holidayed the first year, and I also disabled transfer budgets for the first year, so that you couldn't buy any players. So just looking at what happened in the first season, Man United finished third in the Premier League. Liverpool won, Arsenal came second. Chelsea won the Champions League, finished sixth and still got in. And Everton won the Europa League, so they also get into the Champions League. So there are 6 English teams in the Champions League in some form this season. Man City and Aston Villa are in the Europa League. Sunderland, QPR and Crystal Palace got relegated. Falcao was the Premier League top scorer, so it's a far cry from what he actually achieved in real life at Man United, which is very little. Scored 25 league goals and 37 appearances, and you'll think that they'd tried to get him on a permanent basis now. Didn't get any goals in any other competitions, but then again, Man United weren't in Europe this year, were they? So not a lot of other competitions to look at. Let's just see how they did in other competitions. So the League Cup, they only got to the second round, and that was it. They beat Bristol City 4-1, but then they lost to QPR. And in the FA Cup, they went out in the very first round. Well, not first round, but their first appearance, they lost to Sheffield Wednesday. So not very good in domestic performances, but they had some really good league runs, actually. If we just filter out everything except the Premier League and to see how they did. So they had some defeats, heavy defeats there against Villa and against Spurs. They also lost against Chelsea and Liverpool. But then they had a long run of unbeaten games all the way until the start of April when they lost to West Brom, then Arsenal. So they actually only had, 5-6 defeats all season, and they were all away from home. In fact, they only dropped points in 5 home games, and that was it. So they've actually done very, very well, but of course the teams above them did a lot better. Liverpool scored 98 goals, Arsenal scored 86. So, the player that will be joining Man United in the new season, well, you must have seen the news. Where is he? He's down here somewhere. I've added all Man United players to the shortlist, so we'll see how he does. Here he is, Memphis Depay, 21-year-old. He's 21. He's a left-sided attacking midfielder. Is his best position. Plays for PSV, and in 1st of July, he's going to be joining Man United on a 4-year deal. So he'll be there. It will be a contract till 2019. Thought to be 25 to 30 million pounds. I've put it as 25 million for the sake of the game. So looking at his attributes, let's just put him as. I don't know. Let's just try him as a wing. Let's just try him as a wing attack and just see what the best. He's got, so he's very well rounded physically. He's got everything. Well, 14 is the lowest physical, and that's balance and jumping reach. He's a pacey player, which is always good to see, and he's fit as well. He's strong, which is good to see. Flaring off the ball are fantastic, and he's also a brave player as well, which is a nice thing to have. Long shots are good. He scored a blinding free kick, actually. I think it was today, in his last home game for PSV Eindhoven. Scored a lovely free kick. Technical, passing, good, first touch, dribbling. So he's the perfect choice for a left-sided midfielder, for a wide midfielder. It looks great. So you wonder, actually, so he's joining Man United. Whose position would he be taking on the left? And who would actually be leaving Man United? Well, you'd think maybe, I don't know how Di Maria's done on the game. He's on international duty at the moment. How's Di Maria done? He's got 9 goals. And, 60 million on here, because you can't go to 59.7 million. That's not a figure on the game. So it's rounded up to 60. So transfers, so they haven't bought anyone in because I disabled the transfer budgets. Outgoings were 3 players went out on loan: Andreas Pereira, Nick Powell and Joel Pereira. Sales, Ben Amos went to Fulham and Chris Smalling went to Tottenham. So that's what happened in the first season, and this is before Depay had even joined Man United. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to holiday another year, and we'll have a look at Man United in June 2016 and see how they did and see how Depay did in his first season. Okay, so it's now May 2016. Louis van Gaal is still the manager. He does have a tendency to either retire or get sacked when I do these simulation things. Let's actually look at the job centre and see who needs a job. So Nottingham Forest are in the Premier League and they're without a manager, and Ipswich, no, that's it. Just Nottingham Forest that are without a manager in the Premier League anyway. So Van Gaal's still the manager. Man United, they're now in 4th place in the league, so they did drop a place. And Liverpool, well, they finished 6th in the end. Brendan Rodgers still their boss, and Lallana's the vice captain for them now. That's what happened before with the Pjanic experiment. Lallana became vice captain before he left, and Sacco took over. But we're here about Man United. They finished 4th, played 38, won 24, drew 6, lost 8, scored 81 goals, conceded 37, 78 points. Chelsea scored 98 goals, but well, for this experiment, we're after Depay, aren't we? So where is he? I've probably got too many people on this list, haven't I? Do you know what? Let's just search for him up here. Usually do that much and it's about right. So he's still there, yep, 22 years old. Don't know if there's been any rise in any attributes, not quite sure. How did he actually do? Oh, he had an excellent season, wow. So as you can see, info 25 million, that's what I put the value as, because that's the lower end of what is expected to go for. It's 25 to 30 million. Played 34 appearances. Is that in all competitions? No, but yeah, 34 league appearances. 8 of those came from the bench. Scored 24 goals, which is amazing. 24 goals is only 1 less than their top scorer last season, which was Falcao, of course. Let's just have a look at who was the top scorer. So he was the joint 3rd top scorer with Fernando Llorente of Chelsea. Only Aguero and Diego Costa scored more. So that's good. Depay seems to have actually had a very good season. 3 assists, and he won man of the match 5 times, and averaged 7.53, which is very, very good. Very good first season for him. Man United overall, let's just have a look at their fixtures. So, Champions League, they're in that, of course, this season. How far did they get? Looks like they got to the last 16, where they got knocked out by Real Madrid. Had a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford, and then they lost 2-1 at the Bernabeu. They got to the FA Cup 4th round, one better than the season before. Beat Bournemouth 4-1 in the 3rd round, but then they drew Chelsea. They drew away from home, 2 each, but unfortunately lost 3-1 at Old Trafford in the replay. As for the Capital One Cup, 4th round. Oh, so they faced Bournemouth twice in both tournaments. They lost at Old Trafford 3-2 to Bournemouth. That's a pretty bad result. Who did they have in the 3rd round? They needed extra time to beat Southampton. And in their Champions League group, Barcelona, Dynamo Kiev and Red Star Belgrade. That's an interesting group. Okay, so let's have a look at their players. We'll leave it on the senior squad. Overall stats. So who did the best, overall? So who played loads of appearances? So De Gea played 49 games overall. He was the one that made the most appearances. Depay was the team's top scorer, 25 goals in all competitions. Falcao with 18, 14 of those came in the league. Juan Mata also got double figures for the season, where Rooney just missing out on that with 9. Assists, Juan Mata had 19 assists overall, which is a huge number. Di Maria had 16, Falcao had 9, and then there's a bunch of players there on 4, including like Daley Blind, and Luke Shaw, Phil Jones, Raphael, Marcus Rojo with a couple there as well. Man of the match awards, Falcao had 7, Mata had 6, Depay 5, Di Maria 4, Shaw 4, Rooney and Blind with 2 each, and a few players there on 1. Best passer, Evans only played 21 times, but he had the best pass completion rate. In terms of, like the most teams that played more games, Rojo and Blind seem to be like excellent players. Blind playing more as a left back than as a deep midfielder. Best tackler, Evans made averaging 5 tackles a game in his 21 appearances. Rojo playing more games and averaging not quite 5. Dribbles, Mata managed 3 dribbles a game on average. Yellow cards, Pepe. Well, Pepe had 15 yellow cards and 4 red cards, and that was a signing by Man United. Paid 1.7 million for him. He's now 33 years old, is Pepe. Played 35 games, and that's a lot of yellow cards. 5 players getting more than 10 or more yellows, including Rojo Di Maria, Phil Jones and Raphael. And another red card. Raphael and Herrera got 2 each. Di Maria, Jones, Rooney and Evans all got red cards. The best average performer was Juan Mata. No surprise there, with his 19 assists and 10 goals. So that looks great. So let's just look at their dealings in the transfer window for the second season. So they did sign Falcao on a permanent basis. They paid 41 million for him. They also signed Ayuzi Perez, who Liverpool signed in a previous experiment I did. And that was also in a part exchange as well. Who went the other way? Looks like it was Dimitri Mitchell, 19-year-old midfielder. Don't know a lot about him. Did he ever play for United? He did. He played 3 league games and he got a goal in one of them. So, up-and-comer there, but he was sold to make weight in the Perez deal. There's Depay with 25 million there, and they signed Pepe for 1.7 million. Any notable players released? Not really. Pereira went on loan again. Cleverly went to Villa for 3.1 million. That was certain to go ahead, really. Ashley Young went to Leicester on a free transfer. Tyler Blackett went on loan to Bolton. Will Keane had 3 different loan spells. 4 loan spells, actually. He went back to Huddersfield, so he had 2 separate loan spells at Huddersfield. So that was it for that season. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead another year to 2017. I usually do 1, 2, 5, 10 in terms of years, but because we started this a year afterwards, because we holidayed the first year to get the transfer through, it's going to go to 2017, and then we'll go to 2020, and then maybe in a separate video go up to 2025. Usually that's what I do, but I haven't actually revisited any yet, which is something I could do next week if I don't have an idea for an experiment. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to holiday another year, and I'm going to go ahead to 2017 and see what's happened in his second season at Man United. And I should also mention, actually, the Champions League was won by, I think, Real Madrid. Let me just check all these. UEFA Europa League, here we are. PSG won the Europa League on penalties. Real Madrid won the Champions League after Chelsea won it the year before. So that's that. Alright, it's now 2017. It's the 1st of June. Interesting, I've been offered an interview for Swansea City, even though I've never actually managed on this save yet. What happened to Gary Monkman? They sacked him after over 3 years. But we're here for Man United, aren't we? So let's go to Man United. Well, a lot of players have gone to different places. They came back up to 3rd. Van Gaal is still manager. Falcao is now captain. And Johnny Evans is vice-captain. Does that mean Wayne Rooney's left? We'll see in a minute. Let's see how Man United did. They finished 3rd. Well, 1 better than the year before. So they've gone from 3rd to 4th and then back to 3rd before their 7th place, of course, last season. 24 games won, 7 drawn and 7 lost. Scored 86 goals, conceded 40. Chelsea won again. Is that the 3rd time in a row they've won the league? 2nd, yeah. No. 2nd time in a row they've won the league. Another 98 goals, so yeah, that's that. And then relegated were Huddersfield, Leicester and Wigan. Cardiff came back up and stayed up. So they still got the same jobs. No, Diego Simeone is the Chelsea manager. Mourinho was sacked after 2 years and 68 days. Brendan Rodgers is still manager there. Henderson and Lallana still captain and vice captain. Man City have Mancini back. That's interesting. Where did Pellegrini go? Wow, okay. Pellegrini got sacked. Unai Emery came in. He resigned. He's now the England manager. Wow. So there's some real changes here. Spurs still have Pochettino. Arsenal have no manager now. I think Wenger might have retired. Yes, Wenger has retired after 3 league wins and 10 cup wins for Arsenal. Let's just have a look at Everton quickly. They've got Sam Allardyce as their manager, who was he replaced the sacked Roberto Martinez. That's all I'm going to look at for there because I don't want to spend too long looking at that. So Man United, players. Where's Memphis Depay then? Here he is. How did he do on his second season? Even better. Wow. Okay. So this time he played every league game. One of them was from the bench, so he had involvement in every league game. Got 27 goals, 39 in all competitions. He got 10 goals in the Champions League. He scored 2 cup goals as well. 3 assists, the same number, and again 5 man of the match awards. And his average rating went up to 7.76. So good, really good. Who else did Man United sign in this window? So it looks like Wayne Rooney's either been sold or relieved of his captain duties. Yes, Wayne Rooney's gone to Arsenal. So Man United signings, they signed Ciro Immobile from Dortmund. They signed Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid for 19 million and sent Ayoze Perez the other way. Obviously didn't do as well as they would have hoped. He did not. He only played 3 games and 2 of them. And he played 3 games and then he scored in 2 of them. So that's puzzling as to why he must not have got into the team. And then he went to Real Madrid on part exchange. Morgan Schneiderlin from Southampton, 18.25 million. Stephen Corker from QPR for 7.5 million. And Thiago from Bayern Munich for 14.25 million. Outgoings, Robin Van Persie was released on a free. Okay, and he's gone to West Ham, so that's interesting there. Who else went? Paddy McNair went to Wolves. Carrick went to Newcastle. Valencia went on loan to Leicester. Blackett went to QPR. James Wilson went on loan. Sam Johnston went to Everton. Rooney went to Arsenal for 15 million. And Will Keane got a permanent move to Preston. So let's have a look at how they... Oh, didn't want to do that. I want this. Let's see how they did in other competitions then. So... Capital One Cup. Again, they haven't been doing very well in the domestic competitions, Man United, and this time they drew Man City in the League Cup third round, Manchester Derby, and lost 2-1 on extra time. All 3 goals coming in extra time as well. Their Champions League group was Sporting Lisbon, Dinamo Zagreb, and Borussia Dortmund. Did they qualify through that? Yes, they did. Got to the Champions League semi-final? No, they're in the Champions League final against Man City. They've still got to play it. So I'm just going to skip ahead just a little bit and see if they won it. Shouldn't take too long. I've got a very small database with only the Premier League loaded, so it does not take long to holiday years. That's a good way of doing these experiments. If you go for the smallest database you can and just the league you're concentrating on, it should breeze past. Well, not breeze past, but it shouldn't take too long. So we'll see if they won the Champions League or if Man City won it. We're going past it now. Not too far, I hope. There we go. Gary Rowett took charge at Swansea. So what happened to Man United then? Did they win the Champions League or did they lose it? They won it. They beat Man City 3-0 in the final. Memphis Depay getting all 3 goals. Wow. So that took him up to 42 in all competitions. That's amazing. Wow. Okay. I'm glad this one's turning out well. Some of them haven't turned out great. It's Man United. It's a team I hate. But it's good to see that, I can make content which is okay. And the FA Cup, they got to the semi-final. They got to Wembley and they lost to Liverpool. And Liverpool lost to Man City in the final. So that's that. Not too bad. Other good players. So who we got? So Memphis Depay. So he played 58 games overall, and was the top scorer by far. Well, not by far. Falcao got 37 in all competitions. Mata scored 15. Odegaard scored 10. Hernandez got 7. Di Maria 6. Luke Shaw 4. Fellaini 4, and then a smattering of others. 19 assists each for Mata and Di Maria. That's a huge number. Falcao got 9 man of the match awards. Rojo was the best passer and best tackler. He looks like he's been an excellent thing for Man United. Not so much in real life. He hasn't really impressed me that much personally, but he could do with the years to come, I think. Januzaj didn't play very much. Pepe had 32 and all of his shots were on target. Pepe, he had 9 yellow cards this time and 5 red cards. He's had 9 red cards in 2 years. That's insane. Wow. 5 red cards in 2 years. That's pretty mad. Rojo had 13 yellows. He was the biggest offender there. But Pepe, 5 red cards there. And Mata, again, was the best performer. So that was the second season. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to skip all the way to 2020 and see what's happened after 5 years of Depay being at the club. Alright, we're into 2020 now. Let's see who's actually still at Man United of all the people that I can see here. Well, there's a few there, but they're youngsters. Depay's still there, so we'll just have a look at him now. So that's 2020, so we've gone ahead a further 3 years from 2017. Depay's now 26. There are some attributes that have been raised. His fitness is now at 18, and his pace is at 17, and acceleration is 16. I think that stayed as it is. Flair is 18, off the ball 17. I think there have been changes, but not drastic changes, I don't think. I can't go in development, can I? Because I'm not actually the manager. Man United's manager, by the way, is... Oh, it's not now. It was Villas-Boas, because I think Van Gaal might have retired. So let's go to managers. So Van Gaal retired in June 2018. Andre Villas-Boas took over, and he was sacked after not quite 2 years. And Hamza Hamzaoğlu is the new manager. What was he doing before? That is a really weird... Oh, no, it's his... Sorry. What was in? Oh, he was Juventus manager. Before that, he was Galatasaray manager, and he was assistant coach at Turkey. But yeah, when he was a player, he played in Turkey because he's Turkish. So let's have a look at Depay then. 26 years old. He signed a new contract in 2018 and is now on £215,000 a week, and his contract expires in 2023. How's he done? He hasn't scored as many as previous seasons. So when we left off, he got 27 goals in a season there, 42 in all competitions. Since then, his ratings have gone slightly down a bit, but not as low as... it's not low, but didn't do as badly as he did in his first season. 7.64 in 2017-18, then 7.68, then 7.67. So still very good. So let's look at 2017-18 then. He scored 21 league goals in 37, 34 in all competitions, played 61 games before coming from the bench. Then he scored 15 league goals and 37 games, 24 in all competitions, with 4 assists and 4 man of the match awards. And then 2019 to 2020, he scored 14 goals in 38 league appearances, all of them starts. 24 goals in all competitions from 56 appearances. So, hasn't scored as many goals, but still been a fantastic player for the squad. How have Man United done in the league? Very, very steady. So, they went from 3rd to 4th to 3rd. And then they've gone 3rd, and it looks like they've come 3rd again. Chelsea are absolutely dominating, and they have won it now 5 years in a row. Wow. So, that's pretty massive for... Chelsea and Diego Simeone. That's huge. 5 years in a row. Has that ever happened before? I very much doubt it. Has anyone even won it more than 4 in a row? I don't think I have. Huddersfield won it 3 in a row. So no one has ever won the league more than 3 times in a row, and Chelsea have won it 5 years in a row. I can't believe that. That's incredible. So, alright, let's have a look at season by season then. So, Man United. So, what should we look at first? Transfers? No, let's look at their schedule first of all. Let's look at how they did. So, we want to go back to... This was the most recent one, wasn't it? This was they won the Champions League. Yep, so let's go to this one. So, they won the Super Cup. They beat Benfica 3-0. How did they do in the Club World Cup? They won that as well. They beat Brisbane Roar 5-0 in that final. So how did they do elsewhere? So Capital One Cup, they got to the quarter-final and they lost to Spurs at home in extra time. FA Cup, 5th round, 6th round, semi-final. They got to the FA Cup final and they lost to Chelsea 2-1 after extra time. Eden Hazard with the winner. And they also got to the Champions League semi-final where they were knocked out again by Chelsea. 1-3-2 in the first leg at home, in which Diego Costa got sent off in the 6th minute. But then they suffered a 4-0 defeat at Stamford Bridge. Llorente with 2 goals, Eden Hazard with 1, and James Ward-Prowse getting a goal for Chelsea. So they seem to be advancing a bit more in the domestic competitions, Man United, and very steady in the league. You know, been 3rd place for a number of years now. 2018 to 2019 had a testimonial for Johnny Evans. That's amazing. Capital One Cup, they got to the 4th round, quarter-final, semi-final. They got to the final of the League Cup. They lost to Man City 3-1. Schneiderlin with a goal. Dzeko, Berardi and Moutinho scoring for Man City. FA Cup, they got to the 6th round, had a replay and won that. Got to the FA Cup semi-final where they lost to Man City again. And it looks like they went out of the Champions League at the semi-final stage to Barcelona. And Barcelona went on to win the whole thing. Man City won it this past year. Leverkusen won it in 2018. That's pretty cool stuff. 2019 to 2020 then. Let's see how they did here. So, do you know, I think I've done it wrong. There we go. I can't even see the cup here. The League Cup. Don't know why. Oh, yes, yeah, I can see it. I'm being stupid. Where do they get to? Capital One Cup semi-final. They lost to Chelsea over the 2 legs. Lost 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. 1-2-1 at Old Trafford. FA Cup, they got to the 6th round where they lost to Southampton at home. So not as good that time round. Zivkovic with a goal. He gets bought a lot. Oh no, it's a different one. Okay, there's a lot of Zivkovic's on this game, and one of them's a wonder kid. There's a lot that actually do quite well. Ryan Babel scored for Leicester. I've just noticed that in the corner. And in the Champions League quarter-final, they lost to Paris Saint-Germain. Lost 3-0 in France, but then won 2-0 at Old Trafford. So they've had a very good spell of it, I think. They've done very well for themselves. Obviously not well enough because Villas-Boas got the sack, but yeah, I think a Man United fan will be happy about that. But we'll see. Okay, so that was the transfers where we left off. So let's go to 2017-2018. So what were the transfers like here? So we got, that's a lot of money. Ruchero Zivkovic from Barcelona. They paid 53 million for him. How did he actually do? Well, we got a few goals for them. Didn't play as many games in this first season. They bought Lucas Prato from Juventus for 14 million. Is that a regen or not? It's not. No, he's 32. I don't know that name. Bruno Martins Indy from Barcelona B. So he was sort of relegated to the B team of there. He's now 28 and he got bought for 6.5 million. Carlos Fierro from Chivas for 4.7 million. Outgoings, you got Javier Hernandez went to Newcastle for 5.5 million. No real releases of any note there. James Wilson went on loan. Januzaj went to Stoke for 3.6 million. Angelo Henriquez went to Dynamo Kiev. Jesse Lingard went to Norwich. Valencia was released on a free, as was Nani and Fellaini. So Fellaini is now playing for Celtic. Nani is still without a team. Valencia is playing also for Celtic. Yeah, I'm not going to look at that Varela. Johnny Evans went on loan to Celtic, and Fusu Mensah, whoever that is, went on loan. 2018-2019, not a lot of action here, it seems, compared to other years. They signed John Flanagan from West Ham for 12.25 million. Signed Lucas Silvas from Real Madrid for 29 million. Alan Halilovic from Barcelona for 13.75 million. Santiago Arias from Dynamo Kiev. Alexander Boljevic from Southampton. And Raja Nangolan from Roma for 8 million. And then outgoings there. Johnny Evans went to Huddersfield for 1.2 million. Ciro Immobile went to Bolton on a free, and that's it really. And then the most recent season, 4 signings. Karim Rekic from Juventus. Sinan Kurt from Chelsea. Kwadwo Asamoah from Real Madrid. And they got Michael Keane back from Chelsea after a few years. He got loaned. Went to Burnley, of course, in 2014-2015. Went to Chelsea for 13 million in 2016, or early 2017 it seems. And then he's come back to Man United. So that's cool there. And then anything else happened on the other side? Flanagan went back on loan to West Brom. James Wilson got sold to Newcastle for 16.25 million. So I don't think there's anything else we really need to look at. Who won the international competitions, actually? Let's have a look at that. European Football Championship. Who won it? Russia. Russia won Euro 2016. And FIFA World Cup. Argentina won in the 2018 World Cup, beating Holland in the final. So there you go. I don't think there's anything else really to look at. Depay seems to have had a very good time of it. And he's still at the club, which means that I'll be revisiting this experiment at some time in the future. I'm going to do it with one of my previous ones at some point. Probably not next week, but very soon. And I'm going to revisit it in 2025 because Depay will have been at the club for 10 years. He'll be 31, I believe. What was he? 26 now, isn't he? Yes, so he'll be 31. He'll be probably past his peak. But yeah, we'll revisit this in the not too distant future. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but I'm not quite sure. We'll see when it gets cut down because I don't cut through the holidaying. So I've actually been recording on Audacity for over an hour and a half because of all the holidaying, because I've done it for a few years. But that's a different thing. It'll be cut down. Hopefully it won't be more than half an hour. But I'm aiming for, between 20 and 25 minutes. But it might be longer. And if it is, I'm sorry. But that's going to do it for today. So I have some ideas floating around for other experiments. I want to do one with Chelsea. Not necessarily a player, but just something fun with them. And another one that I might actually need some help with. I might do a video on it if the idea does come around. But I want to make a team of free transfers, like a team of Premier League players that will be available for free at the end of the season. You're looking at people like, Danny Ings is available on a free, so he'd probably be a choice for a striker. Players like Flanagan and Glenn Johnson's available on a free as well. People like that. And also want to do one for teams not just in Premier League but overall as well, like global. I mean, you've got players like who's available on a free. I can't think of any names offhand, but there are a lot. So that's something I definitely want to look at. And I don't think this is very accurate. I don't think they've got everything right on Football Manager, because I was looking at the players that are going to be released in the summer in 2015, and Yusuf Malumbu was listed as contract expiring in 2016 when in fact he's out of contract at the end of the season. He has an option for an extra year, but that hasn't been applied yet, I don't think. But I'm not certain. I need to do some sort of research into it and really look into it, because it is going to be it's going to be difficult, and plus I've never actually created a team on FM. So I wouldn't really know how to do that. I'd have to learn how to do all that. So I might end up needing some help for it. And if I do, then I will definitely, shout out there and see if anyone comes back. But we'll see. As for next week, I'm going to try the Chelsea one, see if it works. It hasn't worked before because FM kept freezing. But I think that might have been because of my computer and not because of the experiment. Sometimes it doesn't work. But yeah, I've spoken for enough. So that's probably taken the video too longer than I would have liked it to be. So I'm going to end this off here. So yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.